Hey everyone, we're back with another live episode of Is Love Blind? Podcast where we're talking about Love is Blind, Netflix hit dating reality show. Oh, are these couples meant to be together? It's kind of what we're talking about today. We don't know. I don't know. We'll have a good discussion. I'm Neil, here with my co-host Shelly.
Hey everyone.
We're going to talk about Amber and Jordan first. Then we're going to skip into Devonta and Brittany for a little while. But Amber and Jordan, a couple that people seem to be talking about or liking. People like them, I think.
I like them.
I think they're very sweet.
Yeah.
And they had a real speed bump these last two episodes.
So they really haven't had too many speed bumps up till this point, I don't think. Everything was kind of going along. So we'll just recap. So at the reunion party from hell, which is my favorite episode.
It's everyone's favorite. It has to be because they keep it every season now. Once they started it, they never changed that.
No, and nor should they.
No, it's the only thing we get good. We get great content from that mid-season turn every time.
Yeah, it's amazing. I do think everyone's been drinking a little bit at the party. I think Jordan has been drinking, and so he's talking about his feelings on marrying Amber and becoming a stepfather to her child, which he still hasn't met, and just the nerves around that. And Amber overhears it and is concerned that, he doesn't want to do this or some miscommunication there. I do wonder if Jordan has ever communicated to her that dating someone with kids was a deal breaker before he came on the show. I don't know if he's told her that based on this conversation because she seems very surprised.
Really? Oh, I didn't read that out of it, that she didn't know that was a deal breaker.
Do you think he told her at some point that this is a deal breaker, but I'm changing it for you? Because I think if he did, she may not have said yes to him. I think she would have been like, let's pump the brakes.
Yeah, that could be it. I didn't know that was it. Oh, man. I think
I don't know. I'm just speculating.
I felt like I missed that, but I thought felt like they did, but maybe they didn't. And if they didn't, I guess that could really derail things a bit because knowing it was a deal breaker is a lot different than just I'm nervous about meeting your kid. But
even now, I don't know if he ever told her that it was initially a deal breaker for him. I think now all she ever heard was I'm nervous.
Yeah.
Which is
if he hasn't said that, boy, that's bad. They probably should have talked about that by now.
Yeah, because I don't think he has. I don't think he disclosed that part. I really don't. Just gonna find out now. She knows now.
Yeah. But
because I think if something like that was a deal breaker for someone and they came to me and said in 10 days, I love you so much, but I have changed my absolute deal breaker for you, I don't know that I would trust it. I don't know that I would have been like, oh, yay, let's go get married. Personally, I'd be like, we need more time. You need to figure out if this is what you really want. And I would have slowed everything way down. That's why I don't think, especially knowing Amber and how protective she is of her daughter, I don't know that Jordan actually disclosed that the way he did on camera to the rest of the world, I guess.
Well, based on the fact that he's just apparently yelling about how nervous he is about meeting her daughter. Being
rightfully so. It's big deal.
I think in both of these cases, they're both very justified. I think both of them are absolutely justified. I think it was a big miscommunication. I think it was just a breakdown in communication. But I will admit, but he's also like, oh my God. He was just kind of like, I don't know, I'm scared. That's a more accurate impression. He was just kind of like, oh, I'm overwhelmed. And to me, I felt like her reaction was like at 11. It was kind of like, oh my God, you never told me out doubts. How dare, and then and so she's like, I know it's about the meeting my daughter. And so I get that she's protective, and I think she should be very much so, which again, don't go on a show where you're supposed to get married in 6 weeks if you have children, because that's not a long enough time to vet a partner for your child's parent. Sorry.
But that's why this seemed like such a shock to her that he was just nervous.
Yeah.
But if she had known that was a deal breaker for her.
I feel like that's really bad. So if they got married, you think that would break them up if he learned that? Or she learns that he said that?
I think it would just be a couple conversations for sure. But I don't think it would break them up if they got married. No.
But he does, now that I think about it, he's pretty oblivious, so I feel like he would just blab and be like, oh, God, she hurt me. Oh, no. Because he keeps, again, I feel like he's lovable but kind of hapless. And so I feel like he's a good guy and he's trying, but he kind of just is overwhelmed and it's a very stressful time. So I very much have turned on Jordan from being, this is just a man-child who needs to grow up, to like, I get it. You're kind of freaked out and you probably should be. So like, kudos for being a rational human being at that.
Yeah.
But they do work it out, you know.
Nervous to tell Amber what it was, like what was happening.
Of course.
Because he didn't want her to have the reaction she ultimately ended up happening. I think if he had sat her down and been like, hey, I'm nervous to meet your child and to see if this works and to be a stepfather and to see if she likes me, I think that would have gone a lot differently than him blabbing it when he's drunk, overhearing it when she's also drunk, and then 100%. Them having that weird interaction 100%. For I think it would have gone much differently. Yeah.
That's, again, there was a situation recently, and it was a situation that was like, you can just tell, like, having the conversation up front is always better than this, where it's like someone overhears or whatever, or it's like and so it's always better to talk about it ahead of, like, if you're feeling these things, honestly, I don't know a world in which, or a relationship where it's not better to bring them up to your partner.
Right.
Always.
Right. Yeah.
Not always. But I don't want you crazy people out there. There's some real crazy. There's someone who's going to take me super literally, and that they think every single thought they have, they should verbalize to their partner. Don't do that. What was that guy's name? What was last season? The guy who was like a man-child who hid in the cabinet.
Oh, Edmund.
Don't be an Edmund. Edmund would say literally if you have an internal monologue, sometimes it should stay inside there. And so but you should always bring up important concerns in a constructive way, especially proactively. So it's always better. It's always better, even if you're scared. And even if the reason you're not doing is because the reaction is bad, imagine what happens to that reaction when you didn't bring it up to them in a productive, secure, safe way, and you just sprung it on them or whatever. Yeah. It's not good. So like, it's bad. Don't do it. It's really awful for your relationship. So
for sure. And we saw him kind of spiral out a little bit and just feel really anxious. He said he didn't eat all day. So I think, Jordan's someone that has, potentially diagnosing him here, anxious attachment style. Amber, I think we're both a little torn on her attachment style. I think she leans more secure / anxious. I think you think differently.
Anxious, slight avoidant, I think. I think she's anxious for sure, because I don't know anyone without anxious attachment style who doesn't verbalize having to be super protective of themselves and blah, blah, blah. And that's not, an avoidant doesn't protect themselves because they just withdraw and are like, you're the fucking crazy one. That's how usually that works. At least I've experienced. But like, anxious avoidant is like, oh my God, I'm so in love. And as soon as you hit the speed bump, you're like, oh my God, you're the wrong person. I got to defend myself. And so I feel like she, if she gets like super triggered by something that's like the trigger point, I feel like she then goes to more the avoidant and like, cause she like left and was like, I don't want to talk. Like, this is over. We can't do this. This is over.
But I don't think that was her point. I think she was just really upset. And I think she's so protective of her child, rightfully so. That I think she didn't really know how to react in this situation. It's really hard because there is a kid involved, so it's hard to see her true attachment style because she is the kid, and rightfully so, is front and center of her mind. Yeah. And so if Emma wasn't in the picture, how would she react differently? I don't know, but because Emma is a factor for her, I think it is impacting her attachment style a little bit. But he is definitely anxious. Poor guy.
I feel like he has a little low self-esteem a bit. I feel like he feels like he's not good enough and he's trying, but I genuinely feel like he should probably feel better about himself because like take a look around, bud. Of all the couples, you're actually not very low on my list. You're pretty high on the couples that might actually kind of work list. So, like, kudos, bud. You're kind of doing it. Like, maybe feel better about yourself because I feel like he's kind of doing it.
I like him overall. I think I'd like them. I actually do think they're going to say yes at the altar. I don't know, but that's my guess.
Oh,
I think they would benefit, though. I think they would benefit from having a little more time and him getting used to Emma and just being, in her life first. Because I don't know when he's going to meet Emma at this point because he still hasn't met her. I don't know how many days we are for weddings and the timeline here. But I feel like they would definitely benefit from like just letting him ease into the role because they are throwing him in there.
Yeah.
Which I think brings up the question, like, is Amber asking him to accept her full life too quickly, which I think you talked about last time or at the time before about, people with kids, like going on this show, like it just adds a whole other element. Like, obviously they should be allowed on the show and they have every right to go and find love, obviously. But it is adding a whole other element to it in the already very compressed pressure cooker timeline that we're in.
Yeah.
And
I mean, look, I don't encourage anyone to base jump off a building or like free climb a glass skyscraper. So again, I'm just saying I'm just saying you probably should. It's too soon to get, and I do think that is a lot to ask.
Yeah.
Even for someone, let's assume Jordan was other Jordan, right? Other Jordan from the previous season, who has a kid, who's a very present, loving father and knows and is confident in that. Even he could still be like, boy, I'm kind of nervous about whether our families mesh or our kids get right. There's always a worry. So I don't think it's unreasonable to have that worry. And I do think, I don't think they should say you're not allowed to be on the show. Yeah, kids.
Of course not.
I feel like we should just recommend against it.
Well, I think maybe they're the couples that just say we're gonna be together.
Yeah, and then I think this is the couple for sure that they absolutely do not need to get married. They absolutely could keep dating, and I think that's what they should do.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I wonder. I'll bet you they don't get married. I'll bet you this is now my new theory. I'll bet you she's not going to get married, and her whole thing is she's already knows she's not going to say yes, and him meeting Emma already is because she wants to be like, I know that he's probably not gonna freak out and be like, I can't believe you didn't marry me, I'm out. I don't think he would do that to her. Mm-hmm. I think he'd be like, this is really shitty and I feel sad, but I get it. And I think it would relieve a lot of pressure from him. And I think after that initial reaction, he'd be like, oh, thank God, I can just be your boyfriend and not your husband and meet your kid on a normal timeline that's healthy and productive for everybody. And I feel like that's why she didn't want him to meet before the wedding necessarily, is so she could say no and then say, I don't want to do it this way.
Yeah.
I want to do it a better way. And that I would totally respect. And she's not allowed to say it. So, Netflix, how dare you? How dare you make me judge Sweet Amber?
I know.
Sadistic sons of bitches and your edits.
I did. I liked Amber from the beginning. I actually did like her. But she has definitely grown on me quite a bit, even more so. Very much. And even
strong as hell.
Yeah, even Jordan too. I did like him because I was like, he's just a sweet guy. He just wants to.
He's a very sweet guy. I think they'd be very good together. I feel like they both need and would very much benefit from growing together.
I agree.
And I actually think they could do that because I do think she's used to shitty guys who treat her poorly and don't actually contribute or try or care. I'll bet you she does date kind of jerks.
Yeah.
And I think he's not. I think he's a genuinely sweet guy. I think he will try.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll work, but I think he'll try very hard. And I think he's a sweet guy. I think he seems like a fun hang. He seems really funny and fun. So
I think whatever, either they get married or they stay together and continue dating. I think in some capacity they're still together today. Yeah. I don't know if they're married or dating, but I think in some capacity, I think they both say yes.
That would be sweet.
But yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
I think he says yes and she says no. But we'll see.
If they, I don't know. We'll see.
That's my guess. Yeah. We'll see.
But I do think just the show does underestimate like how huge like, you know, blending families is and like how hard it is to bring kids in the situation. And obviously, like I said, people with kids should be on this show.
Of course.
It's not, the show needs to change its format. Basically what I'm trying to say.
Honestly, I know it would say, okay, well, here's what I think they should do. This is my new insane pitch because they want more and Netflix. What if everybody is only signing up for your service for the Love is Blind season? What do? You stretch it out from 6 stupid weeks to like 3 months, and every season is just 6 months. It's not semester, whatever, by half a year and half a year, which aren't technically semesters, I guess. But like, just do one long, but like, don't drop these 6, but like, do a couple, but like, do it once a week, stretch it out, but make it longer. And then we actually get like you get a lot of you can get some really interesting relationship dynamics to talk about. It could be very productive to debrief on those things, but they'll never do it.
No. It also changed the whole show, really. It'd be a whole new show.
It would. It would be a whole nightmare. They're never going to do it, but it would be cool. It'd be nice.
But it would be nice if they like adjusted it a little bit to accommodate certain situations. But I do think whatever capacity they're in, I do think they are, or whatever situation they're in, I do think they are together still.
Okay.
So I guess we'll see.
I support that. I support it.
Next week? The week after? No, soon.
Next week.
Yeah.
This week.
Next week. Oh, we'll see. I guess we'll see weddings this week.
We'll see it Wednesday.
Well, I was talking about the reunion. I think they're still together. If they're not, I don't know if they're. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I just meant. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. I'm very curious if they get married. I'm very curious if they're still together.
Yeah.
So reunion. Is it announced? I don't know if it is, but
I don't know if it's announced yet. But I do think they're still together. I think I'm more excited to see some of these couples at the reunion more so than I am at the wedding.
Of course, yeah.
The weddings are
nothing to me.
Yeah, weddings just mean they didn't say yes. It doesn't mean anything in like if they stayed together or didn't stay together. So the reunion to me is a little more interesting. But
and obviously the format of every reunion is interesting to me. It's a fucking shit show every time. Random chaos. What did we fucking pull out of the random hat of possibilities on this variety?
I can't wait to see what singer or sports basketball player they have coming on this.
I can't wait to see what randomly shoehorned song about love shows up for an awkward 2 minutes, seemingly. I don't understand Netflix.
I will say they have had better music this season. Like they've spent money on the music this season.
Oh, I haven't paid attention.
Oh, I do. I'm like, whoa, I know these songs. Really? Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
I haven't paid any attention.
Oh, I totally pay attention. And I'm not to take notes or tell you what it is right now, but every time, like,
sure, but you hear it and you're like, oh, I know that. Okay.
Budget. Well, that's where they spent their money. They couldn't send Dick and Christine to Cabo because they spent they blew it on
licensed too much music.
Music, yeah.
Real songs. I don't know. Do we have move on to Devonta and Brittany?
Yeah.
The couple that keeps on going. That's all I can say. That's my impression of them. The couple that keeps on going.
I just every time I hear her talk, I'm just like, oh no. Clearly she's somebody that wants more words of affirmation and she wants to hear that she's pretty. She wants to hear that she's loved. I think this is what most people would want in a relationship. And Devonta just doesn't give it to her. And I don't understand why that's so hard for him. Like I fundamentally don't get it. This isn't like they're 5 years in a relationship and, whatever. This is they're so early on. that she's literally giving you the roadmap. She's just saying, I want to hear that I'm pretty. I want to hear you're attracted to me. I want to hear how much you love me. I want you to touch me more. Like, I feel like these are things you would naturally do in the first couple of weeks of a relationship. Like, she shouldn't be asking this hard. I don't know why it's so hard for him. And I don't know if it's like, his grandfather passing that's still impacting him in some way, and he's grieving and he just can't give it to her, or he's never going to give it to her. And if so, is she just settling for, why is she settling?
I'm definitely off the grandpa train.
Yeah.
Like,
no more grandpa.
Grandpa has nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
This guy is very particular in his very particular way. He is David Putty, but David Putty who also needs a lot of recoup time. And and also, like, we'll talk about the 24-hour whatever, but he just is always just kind of like, I feel like she's just like, I want you to tell me I'm pretty, or like that you love me, and
Right.
and he's just like, I told you once, basically, and you're like, yes, but tell me once a day, or like,
right.
And he's just like, oh, that's hard, like that's a lot of energy for me, and I just don't have it. This is me. And so she said, Devonta is a man of few words. And I'm like, that's fine. Here's the thing. I don't think it's bad to be him. I do think it's bad that his partner, this is not going to go well, even if they get married.
Yeah.
Because he constantly ignores her bids.
Yeah, exactly.
And the bid quota is like, she's at like negative bids at this point.
Yeah.
And if you don't know the John Gottman stuff, for folks that don't know Gottman, I guess it's a very smart book on relationships. I think a lot of people read. I don't remember.
They got like the four horsemen? Is that what they call it?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I don't remember the name of the book. But anyway, but yeah, bids are essentially like when you when you hug your partner while they're cooking, and if they don't, that's a bid for affection. And then if you like, and they don't do anything back, that's like rejecting your bid. But if they like, I don't know, nuzzle back or whatever, that can be like accepting the bid. Or if you want to talk about the latest sport you watched and they just tune out and don't care, that's like rejecting your bid, versus saying like, oh, tell me about it or whatever. So like the more bids, and he just, the thing she wants reciprocated, he just doesn't do. And then now has basically just been like, that's not how I work, bro.
Yeah, that's just not me.
And he's like, but I love you. And it's like,
I love you.
And she's like, is that? And I'm like, I don't know. If that's enough for her, great.
Yeah.
But I do feel like she's definitely settling on that one. Because like,
I do, because I feel like she's more words of affirmation and more physical touch. Because even when he sits on the couch, he doesn't try to touch her. You see her going in. And she even calls him out on it. And he's still like, I'm over here on the other side of the couch. And nothing wrong with that at all. Like, but it's what she's asking for and what she needs to feel loved. And I don't know what she's getting out of this man to where she wants to say yes to him.
That's my question, is what is she getting? Other than, again, look, it's tough out there, guys.
Yeah. I think on paper, he probably looks really good. He seems to have very stable career. Seems maybe to be
stable career, super Christian, and she wants that also.
Right.
Stable, isn't probably going to go out, like he seems like secure and isn't going to cheat anything, but he doesn't fill her cup. He just is like there.
Right.
Kind of.
So it's like,
I don't know if that's enough for her.
Boxes. Yeah, he checks off a lot of boxes, but is she going to feel loved enough by him on a day-to-day basis? Or is she always going to be like, wow.
The question is, should it matter? Because I've seen posts about that where people are like, that should be enough. Like, he works hard all day. He makes money. He comes home, even if he helps with chores. I'm not saying like he's like not helping with chores, or like he helps with chores, he does his stuff, but he's just kind of like, I'm just zoning out.
Yeah.
And like, isn't present other than that. Like, is that what you like? Is that so? Yeah.
But I think for some people, it would definitely be enough. I think for her, given how many times she's brought it up to the point where other people are bringing it up on her behalf, I don't think it's enough for her. And that's totally fine. I think it's just a compatibility issue. Like she needs more. And I think if she goes into this, I think if they both say yes to marriage, I think she's always going to have her cup a little bit empty. Like, yes, he does do a lot of stuff. And I'm sure he's fine as a person, but he's not giving her like she's literally telling him every day, every conversation what she needs. Yeah. And that's why I don't get. I'm like, she wants this. Why is it that hard? I don't know. Is it that hard to say you look pretty today? Is it that hard to give you a hug? I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't know. But I feel like that's
it was a struggle for me. I'm the affectionate one in many of my relationships, and I have struggled with that on the opposite side, where like
on Brittany's side, you mean?
Yes, I've been the Brittany.
But I'm saying the other side, Devonta, is it that hard for him to step up and say,
I'm just saying, like I've experienced partners that literally think it is too much. It's like hard. Like it's just like not what they do.
Yeah.
Not too hard, but people only change about 10%.
Right.
So that's a random number. I'd say 10% is fair, but that's not scientific. But I think that's about accurate, that like you can shift a little. And I just think his affection in her primary reward center don't match at all. They're like wild opposites. He's like, I don't even know. I think his like quality time. And
is he quality time? I don't think he's quality time. That dude's always running away. He is not quality time.
Existence.
Maybe he's acts of service. We really haven't seen that, or gift giving.
He might be active service.
He is definitely not quality time. He's like, I need 24 hours by myself, going off the grid. Which, again, I know we might be getting married in a few days, but also I don't want to talk to you for a full 24 hours. I need to process.
Again, I feel like it goes right back to him being like, "Oh, I'm over censor." Like, I'm like, I got to put these blinders on, and I just gotta like. I got to be in my box, got to be in my isolation box again. And I'm like, yeah, you have a lot, like, I don't know, the world's hard. And you chose to go on this show, but he just seems very like, nah, I got to sit here and raw dog this for a while.
Yeah.
Like, again, I think he's David Putty. I believe Devonta might be the only real person on the planet who raw dogs flights. This guy, I feel like he might literally be circling the globe in that 24 hours and just being like, I need 24 hours to just sit and stare at the back of a plane seat. And he just does that and thinks the whole time.
This is so off topic, but I'm going to bring it up anyways. I was flying from somewhere to Europe. I think JFK to Europe or something. And I was sitting next to, so it was me and this really older gentleman sitting side by side. And there's an empty seat on either side of us. And initially I moved to the empty seat and I was like, this doesn't feel right. So I moved back. He moved to his empty seat. I guess it didn't feel right for him. So he moved back. I don't think we ever talked, but I think we both just wanted to be near each other. And I had my headphones on most of the flight. I was in and out of sleeping, listening to music, whatever.
Interesting.
He raw dogged that whole flight. Like, did not like.
It's like a 6-hour flight, right?
No, that was more like a.
Wait, where were you going? Wait. I thought you said London.
To Slovenia then. So I think it was like 8-hour flight.
Oh, Christ. That's long, man.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Anyways, so him and Devonta could be friends.
Well, I also think, now, hear me out. I think I figured it out. Bromance. What does Devonta want? To sit and be quiet with someone. What does Connor want? To sit and watch football and hold hands. What can two even straight men do? Hold hands and watch football.
But Devonta doesn't want to touch anybody.
Oh, Christ, it fell through. I forgot that but maybe if it's the air conditioning, if he has enough air conditioning, it's not, if it's not hot, I think
it's not hot. But even so, like the way he sits with Brittany on the couch.
He does, yeah. He is, I feel like he's a very he just doesn't like, I think he might be, I don't know if that's I think he's somewhere on the spectrum, and I think he has sensory issues. So I don't want to be a dick about sensory issues because I understand that. But I think he just has a ton, and I'm like, and he's very like straight about it. Like I guess good for him. I guess good for him for just being like, this is who I am and eat shit. So I think I should do that more, and that would be great. But
I just don't know if it's compatible with what Brittany's looking for.
It isn't. I think
there's nothing wrong with him, like taking his time or wanting his free space for 24 hours, or he doesn't feel like
nothing with him being a quiet guy and not wanting to have to say I love you all the time because he's just showing up and doing the things. And for some people, that's what it is. And there are women out there who are that and want that too. So there you go, bud.
There are plenty of women who don't want to hear. But I just think Brittany's words of affirmation have come up so many times now.
Yes.
So Devonta, when they're sitting on the couch, brings up the idea of a prenup, which I think is a great idea. Every couple on this show should have a prenup.
Definitely should.
And is this the first time I've heard a couple or somebody ask about a prenup on this show?
Oh no, they've asked. Yeah, they've asked a few times.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Cool. I don't remember who, but not all of them had ended up breaking up because of it even. So
no, you should not break up with a prenup. Like it's legit.
Shouldn't.
Yeah.
It's insane that people now, like nowadays, are literally like, if you're at all offended by the concept of a prenup, you are just in the wrong century. Most 50% of divorces or 50% of marriages are divorce guys. Get the prenup and make sure you just plan. It doesn't curse you. It's not being like planning. You're not like, it's like she says, it's like you're planning for us to fail. And it's like, no. That's like saying we shouldn't have welfare because it's planning for people to not have jobs. And I'm like, no, it's a safety net.
Yeah.
A prenup is safety for both of you.
Right. It protects everybody. And like, he's right. Like the worst people bring out their worst during that time. You don't know.
It's awful.
And they barely know each other. So yeah, if that's what he needs to feel secure, good for him. Like, yeah, by all means.
Oh, you definitely should get one.
Yeah. I think every couple should be required to sign a prenup on this show in particular.
Yes. I think most couples should be encouraged to do it anyway, in real life anywhere, because no matter how long you've been together, it might not be a bad idea. Just to, again, marriage is a legally binding act. And so you can the prenup is just a nice legal rider to like, so yeah, I don't know. So, I don't think they're compatible. I don't think they should get married.
So do you think Devonta is emotionally reserved or emotionally unavailable? It's hard to say. He is so hard for me to read as a person because I feel like he gives us very few words, like Brittany said.
Yeah. I don't know how strongly so again, I'm neurodivergent as hell. So people don't understand how I think a lot of the time, but I don't know how much he feels. And it's like, to me, I don't feel like he has strong feelings, but that's because my interpretation is based on different, again, my love language or like how I interpret. But to me, he feels maybe not emotionally unavailable or reserved, because reserved, I feel like almost is like you have them, but you're like holding back. I think he just has certain lower emotional thresholds than some people. Like he just has a lower emotional affect in general.
Yeah.
And that translates as one of the two almost. And I think it actually is. I think he just doesn't have a huge emotional affect in those ways. He doesn't present that way. Yeah. And so, but again, I don't know what to think when they did have their fight and they hug, and instead of talking about it, he's just like, okay, let's go to bed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's emotionally, you're just like, I don't want to talk about it. It does feel like a lot of things are a burden to him. It's like it's a need for her. And it doesn't, and he's like, this is nope. And I feel like he's just a little too stringent on some of those things. I'm gonna get shit on for that probably, but I don't know. I don't want to be ableist.
No, but I feel like, I don't think he's giving her what she needs. And I think she's going to struggle a little bit in this relationship. If they
it's going to go down in flames. Or she's going to be miserable her whole life.
Yeah, I hope they get a good marriage counselor. Well, I think everyone needs a marriage counselor. That's another topic. Sure. But I hope they have a good some kind of mediator for her sake.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I
get a prenup.
I think she might say yes and he's going to say no. But we'll see. I think she gets all in. She got her wedding dress. She was all in from the beginning.
Yeah, I think she'll say yeah. I think he'll say yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. I think so.
And then we'll see what happens at the reunion.
I think he's David Putty.
Yeah.
Elaine's like, I don't know. I guess, do you want to get married? Okay.
Sign the prenup. I'm gonna.
He's like, oh, that's the thing. That's the thing. That was the one thing he got very. He was very. He did those things. He did really good. The prenup. He was a little more. Sometimes, like, he just doesn't have. Again, it's the emotional stuff. He doesn't have a lot of.
Yeah.
It's the other stuff he engages more on, and I think that's hard for her.
Yeah.
I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's wrong or bad.
I don't think he's a bad guy or anything. I just don't think he's right.
And I think some people don't fit. And so, yeah. So, all right. Well, are we done on this episode?
I think so. Yeah. I think we'll just see what happens in, this week and next week.
Weddings to come. I know. And then reunions. We'll see. The reunions always. It's the only super exciting episode for me because I know it's going to be a shit show, and every time I'm like, yay, I get to watch a disaster. So follow us, like us and subscribe us. Actually, I know apparently people don't subscribe anymore because algorithms, but like if you do, that would be a fantastic. Otherwise, if you like us, that would be great. Share, comment if you have any comments. Follow us on YouTube and Instagram at Is Love Blind Podcast. You can catch us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And I think that's all our plugs for the most part. Look for shorts throughout the week. And we're going to figure out what we're doing next after Love is Blind ends. We're going to hopefully have a more routine schedule for you folks. So that would be exciting. I think that's it for me.
I think that's everything. All right. Bye, everyone.
We'll see you next time.